Hey everybody, I'm back. Well, it's raining outside now, but what are you gonna do? So I'm in the big barn, right? Dry in here, got plenty of light, and look, I got a package in the mail. Now, something I want to tell you about this here package. I ordered this big package from Big Rig Chrome Shop. You might know who that is. The guy that owns the place, at least I'm pretty sure he's the owner. He's the boss man, Brian. He was on the TV show. I don't remember the name of the show now, but he pimped out people's rigs. It wasn't called Pimp My Rig, it was something else like that, but that might help your memory. But that's who I ordered it from, April 1st, and I just got it Tuesday, the 22nd of June. So, it's already been paid for. Let's open it up so I can show you what I got. Yep, rain's coming down. Dadgummit, man. Well, I guess we gotta have rain, right? Here we go. I got my blinkers, my indicators. Got a set of them. These are to replace the old ones, which if I'd have thought I'd have brought one in here to show you what the old one looks like compared to the new one. These are pretty nice. I would say this is the passenger side one. They're LED. Let me get a little closer. They're LED. They light up all the time and they blink. Ain't that nice? The old ones that were on my rig, all they did was blink. They weren't lit up all the time. So now I want to make mention of something about that. When I took them off and I took them apart, I just wanted to see what I've been that way since I was a kid. I used to take things apart all the time, put things together, make things work. I was that way when I was a kid. I'm still that way. So I took them apart just to see what the innards look like, the inner workings of them. And one of them actually had a little bulb in there along with the big bulb. Now, usually a new style blinker has two filaments in the bulb, one for the light being on and the other one for the blinker or the brake light, depending on what it's used for. That way the light stays on all the time. But nowadays, we use LEDs, which, like I've said in my other videos, all my lights are going to be LED except for my headlights. They're good. The ones that are on there now are good headlights, so I'm not worried about those. But the ones across the top, they're going to be LED. The blinkers will be LED, and they'll be on all the time. And I got two of them, so I got one for each side. And I already got the old ones off, and I can't wait to put these on. I have to change, and I might do that. I might just run out there. I'm not going to take you with me, though, because I don't want my camera getting wet. I do have to change. Yeah, I have to change this somehow to fit my cab over because it's kind of contoured. Let me go get the other one. In fact, no worries, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I told you I'd be back. These are the old mounts This is the mount that goes between, let me see if I can. This is the old mount that goes between the indicator and the cab of the truck. And they're kind of curved, as you can tell. I think you can tell. And this is the rubber gasket that goes between the mount. The indicator comes off of here, obviously. And this mounts right to the cab. Like right on the corner, like that. So that the indicator sits straight out. And I was told that I can mount them. I think I'm going to move you in a little closer. See if you were right about here. Yeah. Man, let's try to move you without dropping you. How's that? That's better. I think yep, I might have to stand back a little bit. So anyway, I was told by my buddy to order this style, and then I can interchange the mounts, because he had to do the same thing to his Freightliner. Or I'm sorry, yeah, he's got a Freightliner cab over, and he put these same ones on his truck. Actually, his are round, but I like square. I'm a square head. So let's see if we can get these bottoms on here and make sure that they actually will work. Now on my cab over, as you can see, come on, there's 3 holes, and I had to take out the, I broke 2 bolts taking them off. One insert that's part of the cab, well, it's an insert, and you have a bolt that screws into that insert. So one insert is missing. I had to drill it out because there was a bolt stuck in it, and all it would do was turn. So I had to drill it out. So I'm missing an insert and 2 bolts. And that's on the driver's side. Passenger side, all 3 came out, no problem. No problemo. Go figure. I hope it's that. That's weird. I'm starting to think now, what do you think? I'm starting to think now that that truck was covered somewhat, or was protected more on the passenger side when it was parked for however many years it was parked. And the driver's side was more exposed. Here's why. Well, one, the blinker. The 3 screws came out, no problem, easy as pie. The shock mount on the bottom shock bolt nut came off the first time I tried to take it off. It came off. Now, I haven't got the bolt out, but I haven't worked on that one. I haven't been trying to work on that to get that bolt out. Hey, gum, what do we got going on here? What the heck did you guys do? Oh, I see. You twisted it twice. There we go. What the heck? That ain't the way to do it. All right. What the heck you guys got going on here? All right. Finally got it off. Sheesh. And I can straighten out my wires. See, this goes to show these guys don't know what they're talking about, because I emailed them because I want to make sure I had the right ones. And I emailed them and said, that comes with 3 wires, right? And they said, no, actually it comes with 4. How many y'all count? I count 3. White, red, black. There's no 4 wires. I don't know what the heck they were talking about. So, Big Rig Chrome Shop. I'm not buying from them again. Not unless they are the only ones that carry a particular product. I will not be buying from them again. Alright. This is going to fit on there. I guess we're going to find out, ain't we? Now, I'm going to assume, yeah, this has got to be the passenger side, because it's got this reflector. Why would it be up? Yeah, it's got to be down. So this is the passenger side. I don't think it matters. These are both the same, so. Actually, that one's dirty. I'm going to use this one. Alright, I'm going to feed these wires through this center hole, because that's probably how it mounts. On my style, it was these these two smaller holes right here on these two small holes right here. That's how it was mounted to the indicator, my old style. Well, with this new style, it's got one big bolt coming out of it, right? So it's going to go through that center hole. And it fits. All right, awesome sauce. But I think, yeah, I'm going to put this. I'm going to put this mount that came with it back on. Otherwise, it'll be metal against metal. And you know these things are going to bounce. No matter how tight you get them, they're going to bounce. So might as well have some cushion in there. It's funny though, they got the two screw holes. But that must be for, so they can, it's a universal type rubber. So they can use it on other indicators. But looks like it's going to work. Trying to think. Yeah, it'll go like this. I'm gonna put that nut on there and tighten it down. On my big rig, on the big truck, on the cab over, man, we got to come up with a name for that thing. And I watched this other show by James Pretty. You can look him up on YouTube. Awesome dude. He calls it. He's got two Kenworth K100s, and he calls one Trisha, and the other one Crystal. I don't know why he calls them that, but that's what he calls them. He's been calling them that since the first video. So I got to come up with a name because it's driving me nuts. Now, like I said before, I'm a military guy, so I really like to come up with some kind of military name, and there's a lot of names to come up with. Let's see, it's going to go like this. Yep. Red towards the back, or amber. Why they call that amber, I'll never know. It's red. But anyway, amber towards the back, yellow towards the front. It's going to go like this. I gotta set it down so I can keep it square while I tighten. Oh, I gotta watch out for that too. Why is it? Oh, there we go. Let me get a wrench. I'll start with this one. Looks about right. Wow, must be my day. Right wrench. 3/4. Nope, 7/8. My bad. Nope. That is 3/4. Yeah, it was upside down. Yeah, 3/4. Just want to see how this is going to look. If it'll stop raining, we'll go out there and we'll put it up there and see how it looks. But I don't think it's going to stop raining before dark, so. All right. I actually think I'm going to loosen that up and resituate that rubber because I don't like that rubber sitting kind of cockeyed. There we go. Starting to think I might gotta be careful. I might be putting the, yeah, I gotta watch that. I didn't realize that. No, it's straight. It's just, this is leaning. I wonder why it's leaning. It's all right, I'll get it. that's better. It'll go like that. It'll go on just like that. Cool beans. One down, one to go. And this goes on, I forgot about this. This one goes, yeah. I gotta get this on there. I wonder if I should cut that out. There is a slit right there in the middle, but I don't. Man, I should have put that on too. Oh, that reminds me. Shit, I'm gonna have to drill a hole in that damn truck. Yep. Unless I'm freaking missing something. I guess I could cut that bolt off, but then how am I gonna attach the... I'll have to drill a pretty big hole in the center to get that bolt, nut, and everything through the hole. See what I'm saying? The cab, this is going to sit flush against the cab, this part right here. So this nut, or this bolt with this nut is going to have to fit through a hole in the cab. There's no hole there. Actually, there is, but it ain't that big. So I'll have to drill it bigger. There is a hole there. That's where the wires come out. But it's only about, well, it's about as big as the center of this. Yeah, it's about as big as that hole right there. So I'll have to drill it bigger. Not this hole, but the hole in the cab in order to get this bolt with this nut through it. So think about that, guys, when you buy it. You got to think, these, something I didn't even think about. I might have thought about it but I didn't think about it till just now. So yeah, I'll have to drill a hole in the cab in order to make these work. But it's worth it. It's worth it. I used to drive a Peterbilt for TMC. And they had blinkers right on the mirror mount. One of the things I hated about that truck was those blinkers were lit up all the time, right? LEDs. And they were eyesore driving down the road. You couldn't hide them. They were right there in your eyesight, bright. I hated that. So I know some guys with cab overs, they put them, they get some aftermarket lights that they can put on their mirror. Now my buddy put some on his, but they're actually behind the mirror. So you can't even see them except on the outside. You can't see them from inside the cab while you're sitting there driving. So I've thought about that too, but I'm going to see how... You see my side light, right? I put them little 4-inch lights, 4 across the bottom. I'm going to put one up toward the top. I'm going to replace the other ones on top, the marker lights on the top, on the front. I'm going to replace all them with LEDs. Those 4 across the bottom, the one up top, they're all going to be LEDs. The brake lights in the back, blinkers, brake lights, are going to be LEDs. But I'm going to see how all that looks before I start thinking about adding more lights, because I'm not a big fan of adding lights just to add lights. The one thing, I might have said this in another video, the one thing about trucks that I never have liked is right from the factory, they got the single lights in the back, right? And some of them are damn right next to each other, okay? And I used to drive a truck that had the lights right next to each other in the rear, right there next to each other. Brake light, blinker light, all 2 bulbs, 2 lights right next to each other, left blinker, right blinker, blah, blah, blah. The one thing I hated about them was people just didn't seem to understand. I had more problems when I was driving that truck with them lights that close, bobtailing and getting off, turning left, turning right. I had more problems with people acting like my blinker wasn't working than any truck I ever drove. Most of them are further apart, which is fine, but we're only talking this much. I like them out further, right? As wide as the vehicle. That's how far they should be out. So that's why I'm going to replace that's the only lights I'm going to add is on the rear. I'm going to replace the factory ones with aftermarket, you know, the chrome, wide, blah, blah, blah. That's the only reason I think everybody should do that, because them freaking people are just ignorant. All right, so I'm going to leave this part on here. Let's see, this one's gonna go like this. It doesn't matter. All right. I need to clean this up a little bit. I don't like the way it looks. Yeah, this is the one they put some glue on it. I don't know if you can see it. It's just nasty. I tried to get I got a lot of it off. And you can move it around with your thumb. Man. I'm just gonna have to get it off there. I can't stand it. I want it clean. And this is a scratch on the front of it. It's not that big of a deal, but like I said, it's a work truck, so I'm not looking for polished. I don't even plan on getting my tanks polished. I really don't. I don't plan on polishing my wheels and my tanks and just clean them. I want them clean and I want them looking good, but I don't want them polished. Because once you polish them, you got to polish them all the time. You got to keep them polished. And I'm not a fan of polishing. Again, like I've said before, it's a work truck, not a show truck. Oh, I bet there's something better to get this stuff off with. So, let's talk about something while I'm doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut them. I'm gonna have to cut these out. These holes. We got any country music fans on here? What about classic rock? I'm kind of a, I used to always say that, if I didn't have music in my life at all, I'd be missing something. Music's been in my life since as far back as I can remember. When I was a kid, I used to go to the bar with my dad. He used to take us there, me and my stepsister at the time. He'd shoot pool, drink beer, whatever. We'd play shuffleboard, put money in the jukebox. I don't know what else we did, but so I've been around music my whole life. Country music mainly, but when I became a teenager, I fell in love with classic rock. Motley Crue, Tesla, you name it. But what I have found out in my adult life, what I really like is what moves me. And that can be any day of the week, any week of the month, any month of the year, any year, period. If it moves me, if it grabs my attention to the point where maybe I play it again just to listen to it again, that type of music, that's what I listen to. I don't care what it is. I don't care what genre it is. It doesn't have to be country. It doesn't have to be rock and roll. It can be anything. I've never been known to be a rap fan per se, but there's a couple people. Tom McDonald, he's on YouTube. Check him out. He's a white guy, tattoos everywhere, on his face and everything. But he's a cool dude, and what he raps about, pretty damn cool if you ask me. So I can listen to rap, some rap. There's also another guy on YouTube, and man, I forget his daggum name. He's been called a hick hop artist. He raps about hillbilly stuff, so he's not bad. And there's even Buble or whatever. What's that guy's name? He's classical almost, but I like his voice and I like what the songs he sings. Man, and he's done a lot of collaborations, so I like that too. So tell me in the comments what some of y'all like. Just out of curiosity, just keep conversation going here. I'm just cleaning up this rubber gasket a little bit because it's kind of nasty. This is the one that had all the glue on it. I got most of it off. I got to figure out a way to get this off better. Try my knife. Oh yeah, that's better. Getting the majority of it off anyway. I need a rag. Oh, Mama San had some around here. I'll use this. I broke the tip off my knife about 2 months ago. I was trying to use it to pry a light out of its socket, rubber socket, grommet, and it broke right off. I've had the knife for quite a while. I use my knives, so they get broke. I've got quite the collection of knives, actually. Nothing major. My favorite one is my K-bar. It's an authentic K-bar. Real K-bar, not no aftermarket fake Chinese crap. That's my favorite knife. I keep that in my shit hits the fan bag. I don't know if you guys got one of those, but I do. I guess, if you're a military person, you kind of think of that stuff all the time. So, the way our government goes, just never know what's going to happen from one year to the next. In my life, it's better to have it, not need it, than need it, not have it. So I got it. Whether I need it or not, I don't know, but I got it. All right, looks like we're getting most of it now. It's in this damn corner. It's like that, it's almost like that foam you spray and it expands, dries. That's what it acts like. The only difference is this ain't dry. It's still that goopy spray stuff. So I don't think it's that foam, but that's kind of what it acts like. Man, I wish I'd have took video when I was doing all the other work to it. Now I couldn't have took the video when it was at the shop getting the bags put on and new drums and brakes and wheel bearings and seals and tires and wheels, and yeah, I couldn't have did all that video, but I could have did video when I was putting that fifth wheel on and changing the tank straps on the rear tank straps. So I apologize for that, guys, but you'll get to see the video going forward, and I got to change the front tank straps. And that's going to be more fun than the rear ones were. Because, as I said in my last video, I think it was my last video, the ones on the front strap on the driver's side, I have to take that whole tank out of the way. I have to move it out of the way. When I changed the rear tank straps, I didn't have to move the tank out of the way. I just dropped it down. I didn't even drop it down that far, actually. I built the wood up to it. So it only dropped like an inch at the most. But now, on the passenger side, I won't have to take it out of the way. It'll just be dropped down like I did the first time. But on the driver's side, I'm going to have to actually take the tank away from the truck so I can put that stack mount on there. Yep, that's a fact. Watching Mr. Pretty's videos, James Pretty, his two Kenworths, Trish and Crystal. He bought a mag drill. I've never used one. I've seen them, but I've never used one. And I was wondering what y'all thought about those. Anybody got one? Anybody used one before? I looked at them on Amazon. Dadgum, they ain't cheap. Well, I mean, you can buy a cheap Chinese model if you want, but not me. They got a DeWalt on there for almost $800. And, that seems awful expensive for something you're probably not going to use more than a few times. Okay. Let's put the washer on there first, flat washer, then a lock nut, and then the nut. And these will be ready to be mounted. Still raining. See, if I had a GoPro, you actually make a rain protective cover for it. You can actually film in the rain. But you know how much a GoPro is? Holy shit. And I'm talking a real GoPro. The actual GoPro, not the knockoffs. You can get a knockoff pretty cheap. Looks just like a GoPro. But I buy authentic stuff. Stuff that's, you know, there's a reason why it's as valuable as it is. There's a reason why the stock is up, right? Because the public says it's that good. So eventually I'll get another camera, and it'll probably be a GoPro. Everybody seems to use those. I've got a what is it? It's not a Nikon, no. Shoot! I got another camera, a pretty expensive one. I paid $1,800 for the whole bag, camera, couple lenses. But it's one of the big ones. You can change the lens, long lens. If I mean, it's nice. Pretty much brand new. I haven't hardly used it. Got extra cameras for it. I got batteries for it, and I got a bag for it and everything. And I haven't got a tripod for it, so I guess I could use that to film with, and then it films on SD cards. So I could start using that for more video, you know, especially when I start doing more work on the truck, so you can have more angles. I don't have to use one camera. One camera is good, is okay, but oops, did that just break? Oh, it just was settling. Okay, and this one's doing the same damn thing. It's having a hard time staying flat because of the rubber. Make sure the rubber looks nice. Turn that a little bit. All right. Yep, good to go. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to cut out this hole. Because I mean, there's a hole there, but it's just a slit, and I don't think that's gonna work. And I'm gonna have to take the nut back off and put these back on, but that's okay. That's okay. I need to figure out how I need to cut these out. But my knife is not sharp enough to do that. Box cutter. There's one around here somewhere. Damn, I'm gonna have to make that hole big. That's okay though. As you can tell, these three holes are far enough apart. These three holes are far enough apart to put that big. Like I said, the hole that's in the cab is big enough for this right here. That's about how big. I mean, that'd be a tight fit, but that's about how big the hole is already, where the wires come out of the cab. But I got to make it bigger to fit that nut in there. Because even with the rubber, even with the rubber, it's still going to be higher. Now, if I took that lock washer off there, I bet it would be low enough. But then, yeah, you can't do that. I'll just have to make the hole bigger. No big deal. Ain't no big deal. All right, so I got to figure out a way to make this hole in the center here bigger so it can slip down over that post. Now let's put my junk away. I guess I better save that paperwork. It's got the return information on it. And I'll save these until I actually put them on the truck and make them work. So actually I'll just put this back in here and put this in there. Put that in there. This goes back in the truck. All right, let's find out. I need a, I'll take you with me. Need to find me a X-Acto knife, which I don't think there's one of them in here, but I need to find a box cutter. And I know there's one. Wait a minute. I wonder if these will work. Grandma's got. Grandma's got a bunch of these metal cutters, but too big. See, these don't go in there. They go in there. Wonder if that'll work. Right? Let's find out if I can make these work. Oh yeah. Let's see, don't want to cut when I don't need to cut it. Yeah, so right there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make that hole big enough to go around that whole big nut too, because the nut can't go on top of it. Yeah, it ain't that big of a deal because the outside's what's important. So I just need to quit making a big deal out of nothing. I wish I could have made a template for it, but that's all right. I can make it work. It needs to go up to here. Yeah, right there. Okay. And then probably right to there. Yep. And then cut it off. It doesn't have to be perfect because, like I said, the outside of this rubber gasket is what's important, not the inside, not the middle. So I just need to make it big enough to fit over top of that nut where it don't scrunch it or distort it. Let's see how that works. Yep, that top part needs to be cut just a little bit more. Yep, just a little bit more. Try that part right there. Sitting on the top just a little bit. I'm going to take off a little bit more. What do you think? There we go. Ain't pretty, but it'll work. That's all it's got to do. Now I got to make that hole big enough on the cab, not only to fit this post, but it's got to fit this nut in it too. I guess I could try grinding that down. If I could get that nut below this rubber seal, I wouldn't have to make that hole much bigger than this post. Wonder if that'd be worth it, the grind. When drilling that hole wouldn't be that big of a deal, to be honest with you. Try to use this one I just cut as a template. Oh, that rain is coming down. It's not thunderstorming or nothing. It's just constant rain. Pain in my butt. I always say, you know, hey, if it's gonna rain, rain Monday through Friday. Stop raining, say around supper time on Friday. But you know, I'm not God, so I can't make that happen. Ouch. Let's see how that fits. Looks a little small, but yeah, too small. I gotta make it a little bit bigger. Looks like on the top, yeah, bottom's good. I just need to go bigger on the top. Gotta go a little wider over here. Again, like I said, this don't have to be perfect simply because I just want it to fit around it. So, oh, there we go, without distorting it. And that's kind of distorting it, so gotta go. Still gotta go a little more on that top left. Yep. Again. Probably that right there. Oh, come on. See how that works. There we go. That's better. All right, got that one done. So the rubber gasket is on there now. See? Right there. That's the only part that's sticking above the gasket. The gasket's going to be up against the cab. So that has to be I either have to cut it down, cut it off, shave it off, grind it off, or drill the hole bigger on the cab. And here's the other one. This gasket's a little thinner. Yeah, it is. Well, it is what it is. Still need to take off that little bit on the bottom there. Oh, it's hard to. These are just straight cutters, you know. It's hard to get that just a little bit off there. There we go. Not quite rounded. Well, sometimes you're gonna have to go big, I guess. Doesn't matter. Like I said, the outside of the gasket is what matters. It's a tedious process. That should do it. Yeah, this gasket here is a little wore out for some reason. I'm gonna turn that around. I wonder if that one has it. Yep, I got that one on the right way. A little bit of ridge. You can tell which way it was sitting on the mount before. There's a little bit of ridge there. So there we go. That's better. Yep, that'll work. Still a little needs to be shaved down just a little bit. And this one's kind of the opposite way, but it's cut just enough where it fits just right. This one will be okay. All right, there you go. All done. Now all I got to do is drill the hole out on the truck. Another tool that ain't where it belongs. My mother-in-law is just like my wife. And I was just like that not that many years ago, to be honest with you. I am nobody perfect by no means. Unorganized. But now I'm one of the most organized people I know. I don't know. I guess the military did that to me, or at least it enforced it. I wasn't. I'm more organized now than I was. That's for sure. Than I was before I was in the military. But I was still somewhat organized. More so than my wife, and my mother-in-law. You know the people. You know, they're always misplacing stuff. Don't know where it's at. Don't know where they set it down. You know, one day they come in from work, they throw their keys over there. Next day they throw them over there. Next day they throw them over there, or they, you know, whatever. Then they can't never find them because they don't know where they put them. Well, it's because you put them in a different place all the time. If you want to be able to find your keys or anything else that you use during the day, each day of the week or whatever. Okay, if you want to find something that you have that you're going to look for again, put it in the same place every time. My keys go in the same place every time. My wallet goes in the same place every time. My coat gets hung up in the same place every time. My tools get put in the very exact same place every time. So when I go to look for a 7/16 wrench, I can walk to it right now because I know right where it's at. I know where my keys are to all my vehicles. I know where everything I own is because I know where I put it. I put it the same place every time. Now, there's those things that we don't mess with all the time, right? We all got it. The older you get, the more stuff you accumulate. And some stuff you don't ever use. Some stuff you might have used once, and then a year, 2 years later goes by, and you're like, man, where is that? We all got that stuff. But I'm talking about your everyday usage stuff. Get organized. Keep your stuff cleaned up, put away, put it in the same spot every time. Always put your wrenches in the same spot, your screwdrivers in the same spot, all your tools in the same spot every time. Next time you go to work on your truck, you'll know right where they're at. It's that simple. That's called being organized. You don't have to be perfect. I don't have OCD, I can tell you that right now. I don't, everything isn't perfect. I don't wipe my tools down every time I use them. Probably should. I do if they get a lot of heavy grease on them that particular time period or something. I do. I'll wipe it off a little bit, you know. No big deal. I don't wash it off. I don't take it into the sink or nothing. But just a little tidbit there for you. All right, there you go. I was trying to get the orange. I didn't like the red, but that's all I could get in this style where I could put my mount on it. So that's what I had to get. No big deal, right? The thing I like about the cab over versus the TMC truck that I drove is these are out front and down. I can't even, when the blinker came on, I could see the glow of the blinker. That's it. So I may see a slight glow of the light when it's on, but it's not right there in your face when it's hooked to the mirror. These ain't hooked to the mirror. They're down below, down basically where the step's at, parallel with the step, or in line with the step. So they're out front of the step, but in line with the step. I'm way up here, so no big deal. Man, if it wasn't raining right now, we'd go hook these up. I'd drill them holes, and well, I got to buy an insert, but I could at least put them up there. I can put them up there to see what it looks like. But it's raining, and I can't take you outside with me. Can't do it. So I think we're gonna call this a video and end it right here. It was great sharing this with you. I hope you got some information from it that you can use, and comment below. Let me know what you think, or if you got any questions or comments or ideas. Great, share them. Let's talk about it. Let's carry on conversations, and we'll go from there. All right. So next video coming soon. Y'all have a good day.